Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon. I did the wrong intro. Oh well.
Yep.
It's January 23rd, 2021, with your host, Peacemaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hello.
I can't believe it took me till the date for it to click that I did the wrong one.
I mean, to be fair, I can.
Mm-hmm. So, we don't have a lot of interesting news. It's more kind of, here's a couple of updates on stuff and a couple extra things. So, I wish Clock was around for the last thing on the articles list to get his reaction to it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna assume he wasn't around last night either.
No, it was just me.
Yeah. Stuff took longer than it should have, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Also, I was super solo because the bot was even like, nope, I'm not even showing up tonight.
Yeah, I had noticed right after I said I was gonna be late that the bot wasn't posting, and I'm like, why? The bot never actually went offline. It just quit posting in Twitch.
I think it also quit on me. It wasn't working Thursday, I think. Yeah, I don't think it was working Thursday either.
It was working Thursday.
Oh, okay.
It might have stopped part of the way through, but I know it was working at the beginning.
Okay. So yeah, not the most interesting news, but first, before we get into that, and a tier list, because a podcast I listened to had this one up, so I was like, why not? Tell me, anything you've been playing?
I did pick up 3D All-Stars, so I'm plucking away at all three games at once.
Ooh. Ooh.
And by that I mean I'll play a little bit of one, get tired of it, switch to the next, switch to it, and kind of just keep doing that. So, yeah. That and Ninjala's Story Mode Chapter 2.
Ooh, that's out?
Yeah. Been out.
Oh, I haven't checked out really the new season because I looked at the season pass and it's like there's nothing here I'm interested in.
Not season stuff, story mode.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't played Ninjala a little bit, so I didn't know about Chapter 2 being out. Because the new pass has nothing interesting on it. So... I picked up Genshin Impact again. If this game was less of a grind and it had more like plot and character stuff going on, it didn't just go, hey, here's a chapter of plot, now go grind for like 5 levels of your account until you can do another chapter of plot. I might like the game more, but I don't. Which sucks, because the combat feels fine. I have picked up Shell Shock Live. Because I was cleaning out my Steam inventory and I saw I had a coupon for it for like 33% off. And I was like, sure, why not? It makes it only like a few bucks. You know all those tank games we played back in high school?
Yeah.
It's that, but you have 1 million weapons, and all of them have upgrades you get by using them. It's kind of neat. I kind of don't like the single-player part of it, because there is a single-player component, but it's just all these, like, really, like, I wouldn't say tough challenges, but unforgiving challenges, because if you fuck up once, you're done. You have to restart, and restarting story or, like, single-player missions and that is a pain because you have to go out to the menu when you realize you fucked up and you can't finish it. Go back into the single player menu, select the mission again, and then you try again. But otherwise, it's fine. I played some multiplayer. I liked it. It might be a nice, fun game to do for pre-shows every now and again.
Fair.
Although you just kind of like have to hop in a lobby because there's no matchmaking. Pick back up Age of Calamity. I think I'm on the last main chapter of the game. I think, I'm not sure. But I'm close to the end because I have all of the main roster character unlocks. All I have on character unlock wise now is just the 2 extra characters that are like post story. And then whatever may come DLC wise. But Age of Calamity is still good, so I'm still enjoying it. Can't really think of anything else outside of, hey, Deadlock's done next week. Because Deadlock's an incredibly short game.
I figured you'd be close.
I probably could have finished it last night, but I didn't feel like, or not last night, night before, but I didn't feel like it. Because I was like, I don't remember how long the in-game part of this is, and I don't know. I just want to give this an extra stream day. But anything else before we hit the news?
I don't guess.
Alright then. Super Mario 3D World had a new trailer specifically for the Bowser's Fury, and apparently not only is it co-op, because you can play as Bowser Jr. Bowser became Godzilla? And I think in Japan... Yeah, apparently he's called God Killer Koopa in Japan. Or like some ridiculously cool name that he is not called in America, which is a goddamn shame.
Wait. We have Shadow Mario Bowser Jr.?
You have Bowser Jr. using the Shadow Mario brush. Like, he's in the clown car and stuff for the co-op.
That technically means then that we're throwing this into the same kind of canon logic as the mainstream?
Yes.
That feels like that's wrong, though, because I thought 3D World was supposed to kind of be the mindless platformer concept, not the fits with the exploration they were trying to do.
Well, this expansion looks like it's a lot of exploration, I think. Also, Super Saiyan Cat Mario.
Well, I mean, there's got to be a Super Saiyan Cat Mario to, you know, go up against Super Saiyan God Koopa.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise it looks cool. Weirdly, it reminds me of Odyssey. It feels like they went and made an Odyssey level for 3D World, and that's this expansion.
It almost more to me feels like it's a case of they said we want to do Odyssey DLC, and Nintendo said no.
So, spoilers, it's now in 3D World.
Because tell me that couldn't be like an extended what we probably should have got for Darker Side.
Yeah, it kind of does. Also, I assume this Super Saiyan Cat Mario versus Super Saiyan God Bowser like is playable because it looks like it transitions to being playable at the end.
It looked like it. Probably final battle. Because bear in mind, 3D World is the same game that had supersized Cat Bowser.
Oh, the thing that no one likes in Mario Maker.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
So I can't wait for everyone to not like this boss.
Giant Meowser. Yeah, but see, the reason why people hate it in Mario Maker 2 is because you've got so many children out there making the maps that are just like, Meowser everywhere. No.
Aww.
There's a reason why fundamentally Meowser's a good final fight. There's a problem where people want to just throw him in there because, oh, we can have 3 on the screen at once? Yes.
Wow, at least this looks cool. I might pick this up at some point. Since I got the other major Mario games that are on the Switch at the moment.
The other major Martin games?
Yeah. So... I can't believe this thing. So you know how we had a Resident Evil showcase this past week?
We did?
Yes.
Oh.
John actually co-streamed it because he was asked to. So, the main chunk of it was showcasing Village and showcasing there is currently a demo out for Village that is kind of like the first demo we got for 7. That is kind of more of kind of a tech demo kind of thing, just to get you just so you can see how the game looks, and you can explore around. And it has a little plot to it, but it's not going to be the main plot of the game. It's kind of this little side plot that happens before the game starts. But they're going to have a proper demo later this year. They talked about that. They mentioned the new animated Netflix movie that's coming out, the new CG movie that I think we talked about before.
I think so, yeah.
So I talked about that, and then probably the thing worth talking about, really, and it's actually the thing that leaked a few hours before the showcase in terms of its name. So you know how we've had multiple PvP multiplayer Resident Evil games, and nobody's liked any of them?
I guess.
Well, here's another one. RE-Verse. That looks to be built off the Resident Evil 2 and 3 engine, because it has a bunch of the RE2 and 3 characters.
Also, you do see what they did with the name, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be called Resident Evil Verse.
AKA, they knew it was going to be abbreviated, so Reverse.
Yeah. So it's a shooter. I think it's a third-person shooter. And I guess the twist on this is that when you die, you become the monster. Or the various monsters.
Also, autocorrect kind of punished the article.
Yeah, there's a reverse in there.
Yep.
But it's going to be coming out actually with... I think it comes out with Village. I think if you pick up Village, you get a copy of this game. I think. I don't remember. So, yay, multiplayer Resident Evil. I swear we are done with Resident. I swear no one likes multiplayer Resident Evil. Everyone likes single player Resident Evil, co-op Resident Evil. Nobody likes PvP multiplayer Resident Evil because they've all failed and they all suck. And this is like the third attempt at it. So, yay. Better news. We have a date for the new Pokemon Snap.
And the file size.
Bad news, we also know the file size. So, good news. It will be coming out April 30th of this year. 2 days after my birthday, so thanks Nintendo for the late birthday present.
I mean, and the late Christmas present.
Yeah, that too. Bad news. It's 6.8 gigs. That's chunky for a Switch game, if I recall correctly.
The question's going to be, is that regardless of digital or physical copy? Because if that's only digital copy, then that's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
If that's regardless of which version you got, it's going to at least be that, then yeah, that's a problem.
Also, there's apparently going to be some sort of online play. I guess maybe like you versus someone else, you're both on the track and you're both taking photos at the same time and you're trying to go for high scores.
Or maybe some kind of something like the max raid dens, where maybe you get a super big kind of track that's designed for multiple people.
Yeah. Well, there are big Pokemon in this because the trailer hints at it.
So maybe it's a case of the only way to capture the big Pokemon is if each player gets a certain part, kind of deal.
Maybe. I don't know.
I could see something like that working.
All I know is this looks good. It's a new Pokemon Snap. I'm in. Although I did get like irritated because I don't know where it was, but I saw a comment somewhere where someone's like, why does this game look so good and Pokemon Sword and Shield don't look as good? And I just have to look at them and go, do you not realize what the fuck these games are and the very clear difference between them in development?
But you know what's bad? I see that argument. But what I also feel is bad is this looks like this is using Let's Go models.
Probably.
Which I feel like Sword and Shield got kind of shafted on that end of it. Because visually, I do feel like Let's Go looks better. Even though I understand that their focus wasn't on how it looks. It's one of those, it's like, yeah, why were we not using the same engine for graphics?
Yeah.
It almost feels like maybe that might have been a little stumble they had. And it's like, okay. I kind of can understand both sides of that.
Yeah.
Like, if this looked better than Let's Go, I'd just kind of walk away from it and be like, yeah, it's kind of doing what it needs to be doing. It needs to look better than the mainstream games. Because the focus here is taking pictures.
Yeah, and also, they can do that on the Switch because, hey, you're only supposed to see so far. Like, we don't have to make the wild area exist in this game.
But I also feel they really didn't either. Even in Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Because you still had a radius of what was popping in and out. And you could walk away from a Pokemon that was roaming in a patch of grass somewhere, walk back to that same patch of grass and that Pokemon not be there. So it's not like it was a persisting kind of thing as long as you were in the area. So it's one of those, I don't fault them for that, because Sword and Shield does handle a good deal more than even the Let's Go games, but it's one of those, it's like, yeah, I wonder why we didn't use the same engine. It almost feels like we had two different graphics engines running at the same time, and that could just be the fault of, Game Freak is still on the mentality of, we have to do something every year to stay relevant.
True. I heard, I was listening to, because I've watched some videos from like some Nuzlocker who does a lot of like really hard Nuzlocks, and I listen to him talk about Sword and Shield a little bit and how it doesn't look that good, and like his main reason for why it doesn't is budget. I would say no, it's not budget.
It might be a misplacement of budget though.
I think it's more time.
Yes and no. And the reason I say that is, what was Let's Go trying to do? It was trying to hone back in on the Gen 1 nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
What is Snap gonna do? It's gonna try to do the same thing. Just with the first time that we actually got to see these Pokemon in a decent quality 3D model.
Right. And also more than just Gen 1, because there's plenty of Pokemon across all gens in this game, which...
That's why I didn't say just Gen 1 on this one.
Yeah.
It's doing the same thing in the sense of this is a first for it too.
Mm-hmm.
This is effectively 3D Pokemon's Gen 1 kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be where the problem is. They might be trying to emphasize too hard because of the nostalgia factor there.
Yeah.
And maybe because of that, budget did get skewed slightly. And that might be why we're seeing some of the difference.
Yeah. I just think it's time, because now knowing the size of Game Freak, which is only... like, they're pretty much the size of a standard indie studio. Like, they are nowhere close to the size of anyone that is normally doing, like, big budget AAA titles that you would expect Pokemon to be doing. Like, they're nowhere close to that size. They are on, like, what, a yearly development cycle for Pokemon games?
Probably not so much now.
Yeah. But they were for, like, for Let's Go, for Sword and Shield, because I think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were like the year before Let's Go.
I think so.
Yeah, so they were on a yearly development cycle that entire time. Like, you can only do so much in the year you're given.
But okay, right there though, you even pointed that out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they've done something odd, at least, because of the fact of, why does Let's Go graphically look better than Sword and Shield is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the additional content, but when you factor in too, they had to model every Gen 1 Pokemon for Let's Go.
Mm-hmm.
In this new engine, it's like,
Yeah.
Maybe we put priorities in a weird order? I'm not saying a bad order, but at least a weird order.
Yeah, I think hearing all that reminds me of the exact thing I said pre-release of Sword and Shield, and that this is not the Pokemon console game you want. It will be the next one or the one after it. It's not going to be this one.
Hopefully. That's right. I'm going on a limb and saying that. Only for the simple fact of we now have Let's Go and Snap both looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And of the same quality. Maybe they're figuring this out. But at the same time, I'm also looking and I'm like, they probably could have done something with the 2 DLCs for Sword and Shield.
Yeah. I actually haven't booted back up Sword and Shield or Sword in a while.
I haven't either. But yeah, it's one of those. Like I said, I kind of agree with both sides of that one. On one hand, it's. I wouldn't say Sword and Shield looks like crap compared to Let's Go. Mm-hmm. Or this even. But you can tell there were different takes on it.
Yeah.
And that's clear enough, and that makes me wonder if it's not necessarily staff size as much as priorities were maybe in the wrong areas.
Mm-hmm. I wish I could remember what they said that is their development time for new Pokemon. I think it's something like 4 months, I think. From like concept to like completion, I think they said it was like 4 months.
I could see it.
And like they put a lot of work into the Pokemon, which makes sense. That's the defining thing per gen.
But at the same time, most of the returning Pokemon for Sword and Shield, they really didn't have to do much outside of doing the modeling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like the returning Pokemon going into Sword and Shield would have needed a whole lot of time to nitpick. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those where when you factor that in with the truthfully not as big of a addition, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Sword and Shield one of the smaller lists as far as new Pokemon being added?
They've been on the smaller side for a while.
And it almost feels as if maybe they might have had enough time for it.
81 new Pokemon for Sword and Shield. I don't know if that counts DLC or not, but it's in the ballpark of that.
Well, worst case, even if that doesn't count the DLC, we have the 3 Slowpoke forms and 5?
It's actually the same.
5 editions as far as legendary and mythic classification. 6. Zarude. I forgot about Zarude.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it's 6.
Yeah, I forgot about Zarude being kind of not part of the DLC, but slammed in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm. Also, that's the same amount that Sun and Moon got.
Okay, and that even makes the problem worse. In all seriousness, then.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've actually had a little bit of hands-on with X and Y and Sun and Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And Sun and Moon graphically look better on the 3DS than X and Y.
And for reference, X and Y had 71.
I mean, it could just be Sword and Shield's got that stagger effect where they didn't exactly know how it was going to turn out and kind of just walked to the plate with whatever they had. But I also am looking at Let's Go and now Snap, and I'm like, this is the engine you were wanting. Why did we get a slightly watered down version with Sword and Shield?
Who knows? Well, we have some other news, and coincidentally enough, it was a thing Glock was talking about like last week, I think, because he mentioned the Uncharted movie that Tom Holland's starring in. And apparently it's been pushed back to February of next year. And we have a picture of Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, and
I mean,
he looks fine for a movie that I think is supposed to be a prequel.
To
like,
be fair, that almost doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That got pushed back.
I mean, Black Widow is constantly being pushed back because Disney's like, we don't want to put it on Disney Plus. Like, we were willing to throw Mulan on there, and
well,
it didn't do well, so.
And I mean, this one doesn't surprise me as bad.
We're just going to keep pushing movies further and further and further back
until we decide to actually, just do the thing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's next year. Yay! In other news, I should have put this with the other Resident Evil one. Not bad. Some reports came out about the RE4 remake that I think is all but confirmed at the moment by Capcom. Because we've had rumors, we had those leaked documents from Capcom stating their entire release lineup for the next 4 years or something. I forgot how long it was, but it was their release lineup for a while. And it reconfirmed the RE4 remake. But now, according to this new report, apparently M2, who are the studio in charge of this project, are apparently wanting it to be more faithful to the original because of the backlash received by RE3. Which I didn't know RE3 got that much backlash to start with. I thought everyone thought it was fine and moved on. But apparently their role is being reduced, and apparently it's going back to Division 1, which are the team that currently were in charge of DMC5 that recently came out, or that came out in the last few years and has gotten its special edition update. But they're now in charge of the project. And now the RE4 remake is pushed back by 2 years to 2023 now. So does this remind you of something?
I mean, we've had quite a few times where this kind of dumb happens.
I mean, in recent times.
How recent we talking?
Last couple years. Hi, Metroid Prime 4. Good to see you both been dumpstered into oblivion.
The only difference is with this, we don't know that, the Metroid, that in this case, the Resident Evil first 3 games might be packaged all together and actually be ready to go out the door. Okay, so they're already there kind of deal.
Yeah, and they've already, well, one of them's been ported to everything because it's that one Resident Evil remake that's been just thrown everywhere.
Whereas Nintendo, on the other hand, are like, no, we will hang on to the trilogy until we know that 4 is going to be ready.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's all it is.
Yeah. I really would like the trilogy and like to play it.
After seeing what they did with Galaxy, I would be more than fine with that. Because they could easily... 1 and 2 already had GameCube controls. That's not a problem to bring them over. After seeing what they did with Galaxy in 3D All-Stars, 3 wouldn't be a problem. Heck, it might be more enjoyable to play it on the Switch than it would have been on the Wii or the Wii U.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I liked with Galaxy. The pointer to collect the star bits, it's just moved the controller around. The controller acts as if you're holding the Wii remote at the screen, and it's like, yeah. Can we have that? Can we just bring Wii games over and have that?
So, last up, FF7R.
Again?
So, Square Enix has submitted 2 trademarks that everyone assumes has relation to 7R. They are Ever Crisis and The First Soldier. Now, these are trademarks submitted by Square. And I will say this, if a video game company submits a trademark, like a new trademark, probably important. I would assume. I don't think they would trademark this for nothing. Now, what do these mean? In simple terms, who the fuck knows? It's all speculation from here on out. Which is wonderful. But context clues, Ever Crisis is probably some game with Zack, the guy who was the star of Before Crisis, and is now ambiguously not dead because of the events of 7R. Because 7R is technically a sequel to everything that was done by Final Fantasy VII before it. Technically speaking, depending on how you interpret things. So, there's that. And The First Soldier probably refers to Sephiroth in some capacity, although that one's less clear on what it's supposed to be. So, are you excited for more 7R nonsense?
Nope.
You know, I recently listened to Easy Allies, they on their spoiler cast of 7R, and they had Maximilian Dude, who's like an FGC player, who played through Final Fantasy VII and took them through a whole bunch of more or less speculation and just trying to piece together the nonsense that is the last level of that fucking video game. And what it all means. And I can't help but be reminded of, oh god, is this how it feels to be on the outside looking in for non-Kingdom Hearts fans? Is to see this endless speculation and this endless digging and digging and digging for clues and for information when there probably is none? Is this what it feels like to be on the outside? Because that's what burned me off Kingdom Hearts at the end. And I need to see this story complete before I give a shit. Because I'm not playing through this part by part by part as we await the next part in like 12 years.
Fair.
No. I did that. It's called being a Kingdom Hearts fan from 1 to 3. I'm not doing this again. And I wonder how many people who really like 7R, how long it's going to take for them to realize, oh shit, we are now the Kingdom Hearts fans. because now we're stuck on a 15-year journey to get the end of our story that we want to see. So, yeah, that's our news, folks. Like I said, nothing that's super interesting. So, are you ready to do some tier listings?
I guess.
So, this tier list is provided by RRR The Breakdown, which is a spin-off podcast of RRR The Streets. They do some analysis of Toku stuff on their podcast. I've listened to it a couple times. They sometimes do like this viewer stuff where you can do a tier list or do like submit your opinions about stuff and they'll talk about it. So they submitted this tier list of pretty much Heisei / Reira era bikes and other assorted vehicles.
Also, shout outs to this being out of order.
Yeah, it is.
In every sense of the word.
Yeah, it is. It sucks. This order sucks.
I'm not gonna try to straighten it up.
Yeah, there's no straighten this up. You just kind of have to deal with it.
I mean, some of the pictures I don't feel like are good enough to actively get it right.
Which is why I'm going to provide you this. Thankfully, up top, there's a nice little like crossbar that lets you just go through and to each show.
Whoops.
To see all the vehicles. Which, thank God. So fun part is going to be finding shit. So where do you want to start? You want to start with what we know?
Probably.
Alright, so I guess we start with the hard-boileder. Wherever it is here. Where the fuck is the... Okay, I see it. It's on the second last row. Yeah, it's on second last row, right next to where Beast and his stupid bike. That's not a bike. It was only in one episode. Is there anything else even double? Because I know I saw Axel in here. Yeah, Axel's on the same row. He's like 2 over from where that was. Is there anything else double here?
Yeah.
I see. There's the Revolgary on the bottom.
Yeah.
And
I think that's it.
They didn't even put in like the Skullgary or the Skullboilder. Okay. So this is technically not all likes because we skipped over those two. Yeah, it looks like that's it. So, hard-boileder. I'm going to just say we account for all of the attachments here.
I like that.
So this includes like the booster unit, the turboiler, the splasher. I'll give Axel the gunner because it's technically his. So the big artillery cannon. I like Double's bike. I like that it's one of the very few sport bikes we get in the franchise, which makes it pretty unique. I also like that all of the modules are the different colors of the forms, because like the green is Cyclone, the turboiler is Heat, the splashers Luna, and the gunner is technically Trial since it's Axel's.
True.
And like the hardboiler actually got used a whole bunch in series, which pretty much means it's one of the best bikes in the show because it actually gets to be promoted.
Yeah.
So I say put it at the top. It gets to be the baseline.
Like, to be fair, shy of the Trideron, I think it probably gets the most screen time.
Yeah. and I guess put the Revolve area up there since it's actually a part of like one of the sets, technically.
Well, I mean, without it, you can't have any of the attachments.
All the attachments,
so.
yeah. Axel's bike mode.
So man
Less
laying
used.
down on 2 wheels.
Yes.
Is it bad? I kind of feel like that's lazy.
No, it kind of is a little bit.
Like, it's the good kind of lazy because it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's lazy.
Especially when both times Terry's had to have somebody right on top of him.
Yeah.
Especially the second one.
Yeah. I also might have just realized something.
What?
There's more Gaim vehicles in here than anything else, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Gaim has like 4, 5 of Suika's in here, which the fucking Breaking Mammoth's in here, so Suika's probably in here. Or it's not. How the fuck is Suika not in here, but Breaking Mammoth, the fucking Power Dizer, and the fucking Time Machines are in here?
The Time Machines actually are vehicles?
So is Suika!
Nope.
It has a flight mode.
But Suika's technically a form change.
So is Breaking Mammoth!
That's why I didn't throw that one up. That was why I didn't throw that one up.
Yeah. What the fuck? Well, Axel is meh. He gets to be middle of the road.
Are we gonna go middle of the road, or are we gonna go one below middle of the road?
Yeah, one below middle of the road.
Because yeah. I mean, he's not really a bike in that mode. At least when we get to Laser, that one I feel like could potentially go middle of the road.
Yeah.
Because it's, at least a little more creative.
Yep. Alright. Ride vendor. Where the fuck's the ride vendor?
Yes. Because I don't know.
Bottom row. Or no, second to last row. Right next to Meteor and Lizard Spikes. So, ride vendor. Is the Toro ride vendor also in here? Or are we just gonna lump that in? I don't see the Toro ride vendor at all, so it's probably just a ride vendor and the Toro ride vendor. So, ride vendor plus Lion Can droid. That's another one that actually got used a good bit in the series. And it got to be a universal bike. And stayed a universal bike.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it did the same kind of thing that we saw, but maybe on a better scale, because we've got the modular bike with the ability to be used by more than just the main rider.
Yeah. And if we count Movie War Core, it can fly. Because...
reasons.
One below double?
Yeah. Yeah.
Since it doesn't get as many fun things.
Yeah. it feels like its usefulness kind of ends with it gets you places.
Yeah. Which brings us to Forza Spike, Meteor Spike, and the Powerdizer. Powerdizer is probably the most interesting thing out of the three of these, by a long shot. Because Forza Spike is just, hey, I can go into space until I just have other stuff that lets me go into space. And Meteors is nothing except it has laser beams.
Yeah.
The one time it had laser beams.
Yeah.
At least the Powerdizer got to fight monsters and beat a couple of them. So I'd say at least the Powerdizer is like below double stuff.
Yeah. I feel like because of it being short-lived, it don't really get to go in front of O's.
Yeah. But the Forza Meteor Spikes, do they go on the bottom spikes where all the other bikes are going to go?
Probably, because they don't really have a lot of added value to them even.
Yeah. Alright, Wizard Spike. Also, Chimera's here. What the fuck? What is this list?
It's a list.
It's a list that is confusing. So, Wizard Spike, Beast Spike, Chimera. I know I saw Wizard Dragon in here somewhere. Oh, he's at the bottom of the list. And no broomstick from the Wizard movie. So, good. Is it weird that I want to rate Chimera above Dragon because Chimera actually got to actively do things in series, whereas Wizard Dragon only got to help Haruto?
I mean, fair.
Like, Chimera, I feel like is an actual character, whereas Wizard Dragon never got to be a character.
Because, I mean, to be fair, I also feel like Wizard and Beast Spikes are gonna just be down at the bottom with other bikes.
Pretty much, because all Wizard Spike does is like, I give extra big wings to Wizard Dragon. Yay!
And I mean, Beast Spike is a actual bicycle.
It's an actual bicycle from one episode as a gag.
Yeah.
Question is, where does Chimera and Wizard Dragon go? Maybe put Chimera with Powerdizer and like Wizard Dragon like in the middle, because Chimera actually got to save the day at the end of the series.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. I feel like that would be fine, actually.
Yeah. So, Gaim.
Oh, God.
So we've got the Hurricane and the Rose Attacker, which are at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I see the Tulip Hopper. Is this pink? Is this pink-looking bike the... Okay, that's Saber's bike. That looks pink in that image for some stupid reason. When it's supposed to be red. Tulip Hopper's there. Where's
the Dandelion is there. Third row, about midway.
Yep, I see it. And nothing else, so... bottom, 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 bottom.
Maybe, with the only exceptions being maybe Dandelion and Tulip Hopper going up a row. Because they did at least opt to make a design as opposed to just say, oh, it's a vehicle.
And at least the Dandelion gets to be a part of Kachidoki's debut, which gives it at least a +1. Even though its destiny is to be blown up.
Yeah. But I mean, at least that's plus kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of feel like both of those, it's creative enough that it's fine with them going up. It's not just, oh look, we made vehicle come out of Lockseed.
Yeah, that was kind of the short and long of it.
Yeah, because even the whole that was their gateway in and out of Helheim kind of just disappears for too long.
Yeah, we just stopped showing it. It's just like, yeah, that happens off screen. We're moving on. So, Drive. We've got the Trideron. We have Chase's bike. Where the fuck is... Okay, I see it.
What?
Third row. I was looking for Mock's bike.
I'm still actually not seeing it.
It's right next to the pink bike. Yeah, it's right next to the Trideron. Second to last, second to last row.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. These are terrible images.
They are. Because,
like,
at a glance, I thought that was actually the Ride Crosser at first.
No, I don't think the Ride Crosser's on here.
I don't think it is, then. Which, that kind of sucks. Because even though that was short-lived, that was kind of a nice little touch.
Yeah, it's nice that Mock and Chase got their stunt buggy. So Trideron goes up a double, being, actually a part of the series for the most part.
I mean, technically it was for the entire.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some episodes where the Trideron just didn't show up.
I mean, but technically any episode that Krim was there was kind of the Trideron also being there. Since that was kind of his body. It's like, yeah.
And it also is Type Trideron's armor. So
yeah.
Bonus points for being a part of a rider's form. Which
also, thanks to all the moving around, I have now lost Chase's bike.
I think it was at the second to last on the bottom row.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right next to Spectres.
Everything shifted around and I'm like, I lost it now? Crap.
I keep moving everything up front when we go to the show, So Mock and Chase's bike I want to put together because Ride Crosser.
Yeah. But the thing is, it didn't have a big use in the show.
No.
I'm kind of thinking like middle of the road with Dragon.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Because even the bikes on their own, they didn't really do anything special.
No. They were standard rider bikes of the Heisei era.
Yep.
I forgot Brain got a bike for his special.
I forgot he did too.
Also, no go-karts. I'm disappointed. No ride boosters and no next Trideron.
Which I feel like next Trideron, I probably would have put up above Mock and Chase's bikes. Because it actually kind of looks like a cool design for what you would expect a future rider to have.
Well, it helps that it's what is it? It's a Nissan? Let me double check this. It's literally just a regular car that's just been repainted. Yeah, it's a Mercedes AMG. It's just a regular Mercedes AMG. They did nothing to it, unlike the Trideron.
Whereas, I mean, the Trideron fits for drive. I feel like the next Trideron fits for dark drive kind of deal. And that's a good thing. It feels like both versions of the Trideron match the riders they're associated with.
Oh yeah, and I forget about Trideron's like different modes that barely got used.
I mean, they each got one use.
Yeah.
Except for the random times we just, use type wild and then go back to normal. Yeah.
Alright, Ghost! So, Ghost and Spectre are actually down on the bottom row.
Yeah.
I see Captain Ghost on the third row, kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
I see nothing else from the series, or nothing else from there.
I mean, I'm going to preemptively put Ghost Spike in the bottom.
Fair.
Spectres, I feel like deserves the bottom, but the only reason
Houdini.
I would alter that is because of it being part of Houdini.
Yeah. You get up one tier.
But it
for
don't
being
really
Houdini.
even deserve that. How often is Houdini actually actively used?
4 times before it is relegated to being one of the heroic icons that shows up for Grateful.
So yeah, not really fitting with that either kind of deal. So it's like I'll give it that because of the other bikes that are in that row. But it's not going higher.
It gets to be the front of the row with everything else.
The front of the bottom row?
Yes, you get to be number 1 in the last place group.
That, I feel, was kind of more fitting.
You're the best of the boring. So, Captain Ghost.
I feel like it just needs its own tier below everything else, to be fair. But I don't feel like it. I don't even feel like I want to do that.
You are permanently. It's permanently at the bottom of the row with all the boring stuff.
Yeah.
It and Ghost Bike get to be at the bottom with everything else.
Well, I mean, Ghost Bike does about the same as every other bike. Minus Beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? No, Beasts is going down there with it. It's getting one up because it's meant to be a joke. But other than that, yeah, no.
So I think it's just Laser from Xaid. So Does he technically get to be top of the list because he's an actual writer?
I mean, are we considering this as person laser or dead laser that gets used as bike?
I guess both. Laser as a bike as a concept.
Because that is a question and a half right there then.
Yeah. How much does it get to go up by being a writer, and how much does it get to be dropped after it stopped being a writer and started being a corpse that X8 rode around? Well, that he rode around and Laser rode around himself.
Yeah.
Because he did that in one episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he should join his brother Axel.
I could see that, yeah.
Join your brother, and maybe we went too far.
Maybe we should have, thought about the repercussions of what we were doing.
There's a reason Laser got a brand new form to be in the back half of the series. It's because being bike limits your options on what you can do. All right, build the machine builder. Bottom row. You're boring. You're a boring bike that did nothing except be a phone. Congratulations, you're in the bottom.
Yep.
Goodbye. We don't even get to count as a form because you're not even used for Shark Bike. It's just the bike parts of that form emulate the machine builder, but it's not the machine builder. So no, bottom. Goodbye.
I just realized something.
What?
You do realize we're missing bikes for Geo on the wiki, right?
I was about to say, what are we missing?
Because isn't what is now the last one of the pictures down there, isn't that what Gates's bike is?
No, Gates's bike is the right striker.
It is the same?
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, I thought his was colored a little different.
No, it's colored the exact same.
Oh.
Like, that last picture is actually... That's the Beat Chaser from Kuga.
Ah. Also, I just put that in the bottom row.
Where you belong. You didn't even get used outside of, like, the first 2 episodes.
The time machine, I would only give it on par with like Houdini, because it does kind of get used badly, but it gets used.
Yeah. You get to be after Houdini since... Alright, 0-1! So the Rise Hopper and Breaking Mammoth, and I think that's it.
I feel like we skipped Breaking Mammoth.
Yeah.
That's a form, not a bike.
You're disqualified, you're a form.
I'm gonna use a little personal bias, and since 01 was, a good show, it gets to go up behind the time machine.
it gets bonus points for thinking it's going to be a phone that transforms into a bike, but no, it's just a giant phone that gets shot out of space, out of a satellite, that then becomes the bike. That they didn't have to take back into space and reload into the satellite, because no one thought to load the satellite with multiples of these.
A lot of the simple everyday behavior is illegal. And so there's always a lot of heat on this. If you break the rules of the, you get put down. But you break the square rules and it's very
You want to rate Saber's bikes?
I mean, to be fair, I've seen both of them in action. I feel like they both are just fine with being in bottom.
Fair. One of you may be covered in guns, but you're still just as useless.
Yeah.
Well, the Denliner's here, but that's not a bike. Do you want to rate the Denliner in this?
It's not a form either. It is a mode of transportation. I guess we could let it go.
Well, okay, we can rate the bike because the bike is the steering wheel for the Denliner. Yes, the Denbird is the steering wheel for the Denliner. Don't ask me why, it just is.
Huh.
It's incredibly dumb. Technically, all of the bikes are the respective steering wheels of the different trains. So for like Xeranos' train, his bike's the steering wheel. Because that seems practical. So, Denliner.
I mean, I don't know how to feel on that one. Like, we're in the territory of I don't know.
It at least is plot relevant because it is the setting for where everyone is the entirety of Deno. It's inside the Denliner. And it is their means for time travel.
Maybe second row?
That sounds right. And if we did this in 2 weeks, you could actually rate the Dragonite bikes because they're in the next week's episode. Or they debut in this next batch. Well, both of them properly do. But like the right shooters in here, that can just go with the other bikes that are just do nothing but exist.
Fair.
So yeah, that seems good. I don't feel like rating all these others because most of these are boring. Most of these are going to end up in that bottom tier because they do nothing and they're boring.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
There's no community ranking.
Oh. Well, boo.
Well, there is one ranking on this by someone. Nice to see that Ghost Spike's in the bottom again. And also Axel, because... okay.
I'm not seeing that one.
Oh, you have to click on one of those two.
Oh, it is just one of those two.
Yeah.
So Beast Bicycle is on the top of this one.
I assume meme.
Has to be.
There's no other besides meme. Oh, yeah. That's a tier list, folks.
Yep.
So many bikes are boring. Unfortunately, even the show era, they get to appear a whole bunch, but they're kind of boring because they don't do anything. Oh, did you check out the first episodes of Ryuki and Amazon that are up today?
Nope.
Ow. I've seen the first episode of Ryuki, so... And nothing new there for me. I've never seen the first episode of Amazon. I wish they were putting up the rest of Amazon. It is Kamen Rider Tarzan in all the right ways. Also, this guy who plays the original Amazon has so much more energy than that one guy playing Amazon in the Decade episodes. So much more energy. I'd rather watch this guy all day.
So it sounds to me like you might have figured out why Glock likes the show.
Fair. Also, there's a lot of blood in this one.
Probably helps why he likes the show.
Fair. So, this takes us to releases. Good lord, everything coming out on the 28th.
Well, I mean, it all has to come out sometime. And the 28th sounds like a good enough day.
Yeah. So, first up on the 25th, we have Solus 128 for Switch. On the 26th, Alter Ryza 2 Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy for PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. Cyber Shadow for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Switch. Dead Cells, Fatal Falls for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Project Winter for Xbox One. The Sims 4 Paranormal Stuff Pack for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Ziggy the Chaser for Switch. Zombie Apocalypse for Switch. On the 27th, Auto Chess for PlayStation 4. Hey, that thing that, is no longer attached to Dota. We also have Hyposphere Rebirth for Xbox One, Project Starship X for Switch, and The Dark Eye Chains of Setaniva in Memoria for Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. On the 28th, Citizens United Earth X Space for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Colossus Down for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Disjunction for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Good Gods Will Fall for Switch, Golden Force for Xbox One and Switch, Heaven's Vault for Switch, Manchina Forest, Meline and the Forest Gift for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Olegia for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Royal Tower Defense for Xbox One and Switch, Save Party? Oh, okay, Save Party for Switch, Strange Field Football for Switch, Sushi Party for Switch, Sword of the Necromancer for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, The Choice of Life Middle Ages for Switch, The Medium for Xbox One and Series X. That's one of the bigger titles coming out of Microsoft's press conference. That new horror title. The Yakuza Remaster Collection, which is 3, 4, and 5 for Xbox One, and Toll for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and Stadia. On the 29th, Another Dawn for Xbox One and Series X, Bonkies for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Bump Super Trucks for Switch, Caves and Castles Underworld for Xbox One and Switch, Joel Panda for Switch, Cooking Festival for Switch, Crossbow Bloodlight for Switch, Gods Will Fall for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, ReZero Starting Life in Another World, The Prophecy of the Throne for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Silver Chains for PlayStation 4 and Switch, The Pedestrian for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 and 5, Vin Blanc Ghost in the Castle for Switch. On the 31st, Dragonborn for Game Boy. Because and Woodstall on Switch. I forgot to underline everything, didn't I?
You forgot to bold and underline that one.
Aw, damn. Now, kicking off our February releases on the 1st, Glyph for Switch. On the 2nd, Control Ultimate Edition for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Cultist Simulator Initiate Edition for Switch. My Universe, My Baby for PlayStation 4. Yes, 9 Nostrum Nox for PlayStation 4. And on the 3rd, Harbroxia 2 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Vita, and Switch. On the 4th, Blue Fire for Switch. Canarium for Switch. Flying Hero X for Switch. Football Cup 2021 for Switch. Gray Skies, A War of the Worlds for Story for Switch. Kowloon High School Chronicle for Switch. Dust for Switch. Odysseus Cosmos and his Robot Quest for Switch. Skyforce for Switch. Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood for Xbox One. Nabbit, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, and 5. I missed one. And finally, on the 5th, Arog for PlayStation 4 and 5, and Neo Remastered the Complete Edition, Neo 2 Remastered the Complete Edition, both for PlayStation 5, and Neo 2 the Complete Edition for PlayStation 4. Which takes us to quick draws, and there's a goddamn Ace Attorney pachinko machine. I shouldn't be surprised by this because everything has pachinko machines. Like, Ryder has like 3 different pachinko machines. But Ace Attorney has one. Covering the first... excuse me. Covering the first 3 games. With not only clips from the anime, but also brand new animation. Pachinko is big in Japan.
I don't
also,
even.
Also, I'm pretty sure if you're susceptible to epilepsies, you never play any of these fancy pachinko machines because they will give you a seizure. Because they have really fast blinking lights and all that shit. So yeah, that's my quick draw. You don't have a quick draw, right?
Right.
So that's pretty much it, folks. I actually didn't get to watch Saber because what I watch, how I watch Raws live isn't working. And I'm actually only watching Saber because Frozen Stratos does watch along. And that's the only way I'm able to watch Saber. Literally, without those watch-alongs, I probably wouldn't be watching Saber. Because it took till, I think it was Friday, for me to watch, like, 18 from a couple weeks ago. Because he didn't put the watch-along up. Because this show sucks. It really does.
Yeah.
And it's not getting better.
Which kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. Also, apparently Draconic Knight's just getting jobbed out left and right. Because apparently it got jobbed out clean this week. It's getting jobbed out clean next week. I'm just like, wow, way to just de-promote your new toy. So, tomorrow, it's 4 episodes of Dragon Knight. From my knowledge of how the show goes, I'm pretty sure the show is all plot.
Which is probably good.
I'm just like, wait. Because I knew the part we were getting into these episodes was going to happen. I thought there was time between them. No, we just go right into this, and I'm like, okay. Also, holy shit, John pulled Ruby Grim Eclipse on Fortune Cookie. It won't win the vote, I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna go make sure I vote for that. But there's that. Monday more Spartan Ops and part-times.
Maybe not, since it's moving to Friday for right now.
Okay. I think the new season for Master Chief Collection starts this next week. At some point. I think I read somewhere it's the 27th.
We might still do a Monday stream, but it might not be focused on part-times.
Yeah.
It might just be us screwing around doing different things.
Yeah.
Like, I'll probably leave that up to if you feel like it kind of deal. We might do that. But yeah. Spartan Ops and part-times will start moving to Friday.
All right.
For right now.
Thursday, we're wrapping up Deadlocked. Maybe short, maybe normal length. I don't know. We'll find out. We don't have that
short,
much
just
left.
do something different.
So just hop off Master Chief Collection, just play a few games to end the stream.
Probably, yeah. Which, if that happens, I may or may not wind up joining. Just saying.
Yep. But yeah, Friday will be the part-time hunting and Spartan Ops. Saturday is
something.
Whatever. Yeah. Also, Grim Eclipse is not winning. It's in third place.
I mean, did you expect it to win?
No.
Well, then.
Not when there's a WarioWare game on the docket.
Oh yeah, it's not winning.
Yeah, the WarioWare game's winning.
Yeah.
Followed by Fairly Odd Parents. But then back around to more Dragonite next week. So if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away that Philly goal. At Teaches Saloon on Twitter gets the updates when we go live. Next Mission Point Discord and chat gets a Discord link. Drop by, say hi. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.